All right, I'm going to assume this is working. It's been quite some time, so I'm probably going to have to mess around with it a little bit more just to make sure everything's online. But basically, for this live stream, I'm just going to go through my process. Someone actually asked me, "Hey, can you go through your process to show them what you do when you start in the morning?" I think some of my videos touched on it, but they didn't. They weren't solely, I guess, created just to show the process. I'm still feeling a little under the weather, but hey, being a live stream, feeling a little under the weather, I mean, it's going to be an interesting time. So again, I got to mess with this just to see where I'm at, and then we'll definitely get everything started. And I'm back. All right. All right, let's see. Make sure everything's good here. It's been so long since I've done one of these, so still trying to figure everything out. Oh, got something. Okay. Oh man. Trader sauce. All right, so it looks like I got something working. Yeah, it's been so long since I've done one of these. Oh, jeez. I, man, last night I looked like death. I'm going to try to keep it together for market open, but we'll see how that goes. I want to silence all my stuff real quick before we get into it. All right. So let's do it. There we are. Okay. Oh, hey Karen, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the constant influx in the temperature. I mean, it's snowing one day and then, the sun's out the next. So, but all right, I'll just get into this. So basically, my whole process when I start with the market is I'll go into the pre-market watch, and I'm just going to take a look at what's up for the day, what's down for the day, how much volume there is. The percentage that it's up and down is definitely imperative. Now, one that I was looking at yesterday was OCX. This is one that went up over 200% within, I don't know if it was within the pre-market, but definitely up until market close. Now, around 3 o'clock, I believe it was, it started to have some type of pullback, but it's still, of course, open or closed in the green. So I do like OCX. The volume is pretty good. I like it to be closer to 500,000, but for this within the pre-market, we still have about 22 minutes to market open. I'll go ahead and put that on the list. JNPR is another one that we'll take a look at. ACIU, it's down almost, over 50% within the pre-market. I'm not going to take a look at this one because normally something that's down this much within the pre-market, once it opens, it's just going to have a pullback, and the pullback could last for a good amount of time. As you know, I normally trade the first minute candle, second, third minute candle. So waiting, 15, 20 minutes for a trade, that's normally not what I do. Now, when it comes to the gaining stocks, I normally don't pay too much attention to these just because I am very short bias in my trading, but I'll still go ahead and write it down just because if I ever put out any type of watch list, I want people to look at these certain stocks. So, of course, CODX. Now, CODX is up, I mean, over 100% right now in the pre-market. The volume, 1.6 million. I have a feeling that once this opens, it's actually going to have a pullback, and I mean, that's just going to happen. The reason being is people that buy in the pre-market, they see how much it's gone up, they're going to sell it. So they're selling right there. People that are holding this long, people that went through their bank or however, when they wake up in the morning, they see how much their stock's up, they're going to sell it immediately. Whenever you put an order through your bank, they'll say, okay, we'll process this on the, the trading day. And of course, that's 9:30. So that's more selling right there. And additionally, you're going to have shorters. Shorters are going to see this opportunity, and they're going to know that these buyers are selling as well. There's just going to be a lot of selling pressure. So we'll put that on the list. EYEN. This is another good one. I mean, we have over 500,000. And additionally, EKSO. Now, these all have good volume. AMD is another one. It definitely seems like today, go ahead and take a look at, let's see, so the Nasdaq's down almost 1%. S&P, it's kind of weird. There's definitely a lot of stocks that are bouncing up to the positive. All right, now that we have compiled that list, we'll head and get into the trader, or the broker, however. OCX. Okay. Show the pre-market. Go ahead and do the 1 minute candles here. I'll do the 5 minute candles right here. Okay, so OCX was on the list. JMPR. So whenever I'm looking at a stock that's down for the day, of course I want to know what the previous close was. Reason for that is normally there's going to be a pullback. There is going to be a pullback, but I don't know how close it's going to get to that previous low, or really how much it's going to close up. So you want to get an idea of, okay, I know this is going to pull back. Of course, these shorters are going to take profits. It's just the inverse of if something was up over 100%, like I was talking about earlier. There's going to be a sell-off. Just when the stock's down, then there's going to be people buying it up because shorters are taking profits. Also, buyers want to get their dip buy. So the previous low, 27.78. Now the volume again isn't, I mean, where I really would like it, but we'll continue to go through the list. Anyway, if anyone has any stocks they want me to take a look at, just go ahead and post it within the message board or the comments or however, and we'll take a look at it as well. CODX. All right, so this is up almost 200%. See if there's any news. Elimination of debt. Looks like a platform was featured at a conference. Okay, that's all right. Okay, so again, I mean, it's going up a good amount, but PUBG. Let's see. Nope, we didn't get lucky, Cody. No PUBG here. Where were we? All right, so. All right. So this one looks like it had a spike towards the open of pre-market, starting to sell off a good amount. I actually just want to take a look at OCX daily. So the one thing with this is, of course, this had this huge spike upward. I mean, just huge spike. But for the strategy that I have, I don't have the ability to look at the previous day's low, because it spiked up and then closed here. Of course, if it goes over this high, then I would definitely get out of the trade because it's probably going to continue. But the biggest thing I'm looking at is it's down 42 cents right now. If this goes from a red to a green, so basically it's red on the day, then it moves over to being green on the day, then I'm not going to take the trade anymore. just because when it goes from a red to a green, then it becomes very unstable. You don't know really who controls the stock. Do the bears control it? Do the bulls control it? It's not. It's basically break even. One thing that I have done in the past is if it goes from a red to a green, then basically if it goes, so it'll go red to green, and then if it goes green back to red, if it does it again, then I'll get out of the trade. But what occurs a good majority of the time is when it goes from red to green, all the buyers are basically taking their profits and mission accomplished for them, basically. So then I'll give it a little bit more time. But again, with a 46 cent stop loss, that's not too bad. Of course, I wouldn't want it to ride up all the way, but I was looking at this stock yesterday, and I told myself if it had good volume, it was down in the pre-market, then I would look at it today, and it is. So, EKSO. There's just a lot of stocks that are making some crazy movements to the upside. Again, it's up for the day, so I'm not really looking at it, but I'd be happy to give anybody any type of analysis. AMD up about 10%. Nothing special here. All right, thank you, Cody. I truly appreciate it, man. Best of luck trading today. All right, so once I've compiled my stock list, basically I go through, the whole pre-market watch. However, I go through everything. I just take a quick look. I compile my list, then I break it down even more to these are the ones I'm solely going to watch. Now, of course, for any type of trader, you should keep an open mind of, okay, these are the ones I'm watching, but, 10, 20, 30 minutes pass, then, I'll open up, basically what I'm going to follow. But for me, I'm just very quick when it comes to trading. A lot of traders, a lot of day traders, or however, they're in the market for 30, 45 hours, the whole day. I just don't do that. I think it's overkill. You should, I believe you should focus on a time that you're comfortable with. And, if you dedicate your entire day to watching the market, I mean, goodness, that's just too much in my opinion. I mean, thank you, Karen. It's just too much in my opinion, But again, people are going to trade differently, and people are going to enter the market at different times. I used to trade around like 10:30, 11. Definitely not the best time to trade. So I normally trade then, and then now I've scaled it back to trading like the first 5 minutes of market. And normally when it comes to my strategy, if I'm not able to find something within the first 5, maybe 10 minutes, then, I'm not going to force anything. And that's a big thing. You don't want to force anything. You don't want to chase any stocks, because when you do that, you're going to lose more money. So we got 12 minutes to market open. Okay. Take a look at OCX again. Again, if anyone wants me to look at any stocks, just let me know. I'll go ahead and take a look at it. Yeah, I normally don't get into I don't get into my broker this early. It's kind of weird. I'm just like, okay. I mean, there's some people that wake up at 7:30, and some do pre-market trading. I don't do pre-market trading, but some people do, so it's understandable. But I mean, it only takes me like 2 to 5 minutes to figure out what stocks I'm going to look at, and then I'm just kind of waiting. So OCX is one that I'm watching. I don't really like the movement right now. The volume is just dried up, and there's not really anything. JNPR, it's kind of just going sideways. ACIU, just down over 50%. That's just never. Here, I'll take a look at it. And I'll take a look at GOGL, see where that's at within the volume. So, no, definitely not. And no. Well, okay. Another thing when you're looking at these stocks is the spread. We got $5 and $5.10, basically 10 cents. As soon as you enter the trade, you're down 10 cents. So spreads can be, I mean, I've traded stocks with bigger spreads. I think I did the other day. But that's something you just want to be mindful of. CX. Yeah, so normally when it comes to these stocks, I do these huge, I wouldn't classify this as a pump and dump just because OCX did have news come out. So I wouldn't classify it as that. But normally what occurs is we have this huge momentum spike right here. This, I mean, the volume on this was, what, 44.5 million? So you're going to get like this, and then the next day, I mean, it may drift down, but the volume just doesn't compare to what it was. And you also have to make sure, is there going to be a bull flag forming on this? So if it were to stay above here and it just goes sideways, then we're going to have a flag formation. So I'm still watching it. Of course, I only have 40 cents. Basically, I could lose to my stop loss. But I'm not really expecting any type of just crazy movement. Now, I did miss the crazy movement yesterday. I was actually watching it, and I was going to enter in. Believe it or not, I had 1,000 shares in my montage. But right here, I was going to enter into the stock. And it's funny because, you know, oh, Jonathan, how would you know to enter here? Of course, you say it now because you see this huge spike down. Well, the reason is if we look at the highs right here, I mean, we have 665. We had 664, 665, 665. I knew 665 was watched by the bulls, and I knew I wanted the bulls to basically accomplish their mission, or however, of breaking that, because there was a huge seller wall. Make sure I got the time right. So I knew there was a huge seller wall. Now, when this seller wall broke, it went from a high of 665 to 667. And if anyone ever watches any of my videos, they know I'm always watching for false breaks. False breaks are imperative. I don't think people pay attention to them like they should, or even people even heard of it. I mean, I've never heard of anyone teaching about false breaks. That's just not. But when this false break occurred at 667, then we see this huge spike downward. Additionally, when it was up here, I mean, it's very overextended off the VWAP. Now, the reason that I hesitated to join is because when I saw this cup right here, I thought there might be a handle formation to follow it. It didn't happen, so I missed out on the trade, but hey, you know, you can't win them all. And I'm happy I didn't chase the stock, because a lot of people would write it down and then they start chasing the stock. Oh my Lord. So I'm gonna try to get through market open. Man. Crap. All right, we're almost to market open. Almost there. I've almost survived it. Yeah, I'm not liking this setup on OCX. Oh, I love the shirt, how it's transparent. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's all right. That's okay. Oh, that's awesome. I thought about wearing a green shirt, all green, but that'll probably come up in another video. It'd just be fun. I don't know. Or funny, however. Yep, not liking OCX right now. Kind of disappointed. JNPR. Previous day's low, 27.78. I always like it to close up a little closer to the previous day's low. Just so I feel secure that, hey, you know, I don't have that much. I'm also eliminating a lot of my stop loss. So if I'm risking $1 and it starts to close that gap of the previous day's low, then I may only be risking 50 cents. And from there, I can change up how much of my share size I'm going to use. A lot of people ask me, how do you determine how much you're going to risk or however. So with my account right now, on the small account, I can lose up to $700 before it basically blows up. So I got to keep that in mind. The max I would like to risk would be 150. So basically, I take a look. Let's say I was going to get into this stock right here. Then, you know, right here, of course, should be my stop loss, about right there. So right there on the whole dollar, 25. So about 27 cents, about 75 shares I'd be risking. So that, I mean, to get to that like max loss area. So if I were to do 100, or I'm sorry, if I were, okay, that was going off 1,000. Oh man, I shouldn't be trading. I should not be trading when I'm feeling like this. But it basically, this is gonna be bad for me. So it was funny. I actually went live because there was this day trader, whoever it was, that said they didn't want to do it live because there was no benefit to them, and you know, it added pressure. And yeah, I mean, of course it's going to add pressure, but you know, so I told myself, hey, you know, I'll do a live stream, and you know, it'll be add pressure. Of course it is, but you know, anytime you do something, it shouldn't be for your own benefit. It should be the benefit to people that follow you. So feeling like this and doing on the live stream, whew, it's going to be a tough one, but okay, let me just go back to where it was. 25 was the stop, 20 something cents. 1,000 shares would be $270 on that. Don't want to risk that much. So then 500 shares, but again, it depends if I wanted this to be my ultimate stop or if I wanted to build some type of position. Now in this case right here, right now, absolutely not. I would not build a position on it because it's already down so much and it has so much room to go, especially looking at the previous day's low. We got about 2 minutes to market open. I am ready to get this trade out of the way. Oh man. Yeah, I'm just not liking OCX. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. Let me take off my... Okay, so that's just gonna show me... Man. Yeah, all these buy orders coming in. I mean, we're getting a spike even before market open, which is a good thing. But of course, when it comes to OCX, I'm looking at how much that it's down on the day. Now, I love that we have this huge spike in momentum and we're still down for the day. That's great. That looks really good in my favor. Again, this is definitely not a textbook setup, which is kind of disappointing. We're getting a pressure, or we're getting a push right here. Got about a minute and a half to market open. So... Oh, Chaz, what's up, man? I wish I felt better, but you know, I'll try to survive for the first couple minutes of market. You know, and again, if anyone has any stocks they want me to take a look at, go ahead and post it up there. You know, I'm really just here for everybody. I would have loved to sleep in, but you know, I think it's very important to have a good relationship with people that follow you, that you know, they want to pick your brain, and you know, that's fine. Look at this, we have a 24.75. That's going to be very interesting, but again, I really wanted to get closer to this previous day's low. We got about 40 seconds. Look at the spike already, man. This is going to be very interesting, especially with the VWAP and the moving average right here. This could begin to cross. And if it crosses, then we could have a lot of momentum downward. Again, looking at this 2475 area. But the spread, I don't like the spread at all. OCX. Dang. Yeah, I was hoping OCX would be a little better in the setup. All right, and we're off. We're off. Again, looking at this 25 area, however, we're getting some push downward, but I really want this to spike up even more, even if it got closer to closing it up. Go look at JNPR. I want this to get closer to the previous day's low. Is it going to? I don't know. It looks like it's spiking here. This would be a good place to enter if you were shorting, but I just can't get... Okay, well, we're still going up. OCX. I'm actually really looking at JNPR. Actually, I'm going to short it here. Reason being is because, I don't know, I just kind of did it. But with this overextension, it could continue to go up. Like I said, I'm looking at that previous day's low. It could continue to go up, but I don't know. I can't turn a blind eye to that push right there. OCX. Of course, I'm looking at OCX. 570. This would be a good area to jump in. Well, dang it. JNPR. I think my platform's frozen on me. Well, dang it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Jonathan, you did again. Look at that. 16 bucks on 50 shares. I'll take it. Looking back at OCX. Dang it. What'd I tell you guys? I said once it gets closer to filling this right here is going to have some type of push. Now what's going to be interesting is when this VWAP and this moving average cross. Well, we're still going down. That's awesome. All right. Well, so on that trade I just took, it was about a minute trade. 50 shares. Gosh, OCX, you're breaking my heart. I got about 32-cent movement. You know, I can't complain about that. I had what I was going to do. I had in my mind. I didn't hesitate. Hesitation is what's going to basically break you. You can't hesitate. If you enter a trade and you take a loss, then just take the loss. You're not going to win every time. One thing I have to keep in my mind is, okay, Jonathan, you have a green streak like crazy. And you don't want to lose this green streak because you want to be like the garage day trader and have a month green streak. But, you know, if I keep that in my mind, oh, Jonathan, don't mess up your green streak, then I'm just going to be less prone to take trades. And, you know, you don't want that. We're having a good push back. Again, with OCX, I'm waiting for the VWAP and the moving average to cross. I know the cross is going to occur soon. And it's a good pullback. It's really good pullback. But this is definitely where I wanted to enter in. Again, if anyone wants me to look at a stock, I mean, I have 16 bucks in the bank. You know, is it where I want it to be? No, but, you know, I took 50 shares just because, you know, I mean, look at it now. It's spiking back up. I'm glad I got in this because, again, I was wanting to get closer to this previous day's low. You know, a lot of people question, why are you only taking 50 shares? Why are you only taking 100 shares? Well, on my strategy, I like to average. And when you only have $14,000 of buying power, look, we're about to break the high right here. So, again, that's why I only win in 50 shares. But when you're trying to average, you have to have that buying power in your back pocket. So we're about to break the high here. I wouldn't enter it until it broke the high. Just because I have a feeling, especially when we're having, and some people like to draw the lines. I'll draw the lines. We're starting to get this little formation right here. So I wouldn't enter it until, you know, there was some type of, okay, well, there goes the break right there. All right, well, I'm glad I drew that line for everyone. Again, I want it close to previous days. We're still going. Previous day's low. But, you know, I took my trade on it, and I'm happy, and that's all that matters. OCX, let's see, we have, okay, so we have a $50, right? Well, We did have the $half, which would have been a great support to break, but we see that already happened. And that's what I'm talking about. I saw, we're still going, that's awesome. I saw that as soon as I looked at it, I was able to recognize, oh, we have that $half. If that breaks, that's going to be good momentum. It broke, of course, but I didn't chase it. Like, I'm not chasing it right now. And I didn't chase it when I was looking to trade it all the way right here. You just can't chase them. Sometimes you're going to get the trade and sometimes you're not. But that's why I'm talking about you can't be apprehensive when you're looking at these stocks. Because if you look at something, you see it just like I was with JNPR. I saw this huge spike right here. Look at that. We're still going. And that's what I'm talking about. I wanted to get close to that previous day's low. But for... Oh, man. I'm still trying to hold on. Dang. Oh, yeah. You can't be apprehensive. Because when I saw this huge spike, I could have been like, we'll see where it goes. Okay, I'll let it get right here and see how it reacts to the moving average and the VWAP. But yeah, so they crossed right here. They crossed in this area. We're starting to get this huge push upward. They're going to cross right in this area. If I could get further over here, they're going to cross over in this area. And that's probably going to create it going back down to the, going to the downside. But yeah, I'm about $29 in the green on this account. And you got to remember, at one time I was down $250. So, you know, I've only had one red day on this account. Okay, so, oh man. Jeez. All right, I'm going to power through even though I look like I'm dying over here. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, right here. So we're having some type of line. The moving average is holding it up. But again, when it starts to move back down, this moving average and VWAP are going to cross, and that's where we're going to get a lot of the momentum downward. If someone were wanting to short this area, I mean, the low is 27.78. I'm going ahead, I'll put it in my stop just for a mental, so 27.78. Now, I'm not actually putting a stop loss to that. I just put it there so I can look at it. I don't have to keep on referring back because I'm going to look at the 5-minute candles now. 26.17. So right here, you want to be very cautious. Is this following a bull flag? Is this going to break the high? If it breaks the high, is it going to be a false break? And that's the biggest thing. Again, is it holding this trend line? It is holding a trend line. Let me make this... Well, some people like the visuals. Some people like the visuals. Which, that's fine. I mean, I don't like them, but, you know, whatever. I'm not going to judge how other people trade. It's not how I do. Unless they want to trade a demo account and say it's a live account, then, yeah, I'll judge you all day. But other than that, still watching this. This would be a great place to enter a trade. We're getting that momentum back downward. But again, you never want to mistake this candle right here for a crash down. Now, well, after I say it's a good place to enter in. But this might continue to go down. But you never want to mistake it for a crash. This could be a pullback. This could be a consolidation. Now, right now, we're forming well, as soon as I say this would be a good place to enter, it crashes down. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I mean, we're up here in 85. So basically, if I were to take that trade when I said it would be a good place to enter, it would be about 30 cents, which is, I mean, we made 32 cents off this trade, which is great. Honestly, when a lot of people are looking at these traders, looking at day traders, whatever, they're looking at the dollar amount. $16, Jonathan, you suck. $16, really? But they're not looking at the movement. I can't think of a lot of traders that get 32-cent movement on a mid-price stock like this. Now, if we were talking about Tesla, Facebook, yeah, I would hope you're getting 32 cents. But when it comes to a mid stock like this, I mean, if you even look at the trend lines, we go 60, 40, 20. It's staying within a close range. For me to get, you know, the 32 cents, I mean, you got to know what you're talking about. Additionally, we did have a false break right here. This was just on the, basically the green side. So, came back down, broke this 60 area, broke this level of support, came down. Oh, man, I don't think I'm going to be able to go much longer. And then we're starting to get that push back up. Now, how's it going to react to the moving average? I don't know. Now, actually, look at the moving average and the VWAP. When this crosses, it's going to be interesting because depending on what price it is, I mean, I don't know. We'd have to look at that at that time. You want to anticipate any type of movement, but, I mean, you don't want to try to be a mind reader to the point where you're like, yep, as soon as it touches the VWAP, it's going to bounce or whatever. You just got to go with the certain candle that's on, or looking at, you know, the candle right after that. You know, you don't want to get too overcomplicated. You know, you don't want to have your Fibonacci here. You're like, okay, that, oh, let me draw this right here. Okay, yep, we're looking good. And let's have a few of these lines. Oh yeah, I see what I'm doing now. I mean, I'm not making fun of anyone that does that. I'm just saying, you gotta remember, there's only certain things. Every trader is looking at the same stuff. I'm looking at the same thing you guys are looking at when you're trading. I just probably look at it differently. And that's fine. Now, what I basically have, and will always have, is the VWAP and the moving average. Those are two indicators. People ask me, what indicators do you have to have? What would you recommend? Of course, I would recommend the VWAP and the moving average. You know, if you don't have the VWAP, even when it comes to penny stocks, you want to have the VWAP. Because everyone else is going to have the VWAP on there, and they're going to react differently when they see that the stock is going to touch the VWAP, either going up or down. You know, people are looking at the VWAP. People are looking at the VWAP and the moving average crossing. This is something that's a little more advanced as far as them crossing. A lot of people don't. Okay, look at this. So we're starting to get that the bear flag right here. Now, granted, there was a false break, I brought it back up, but this moving average is holding it down. So either it's going to, I think it's going to explode. Well, I can't finish the sentence because it's starting to move, and I don't want to act like a jack but for saying, oh, yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. So I'll let it do its thing. But let's see what this high is. 75, 75, 74. So, you know, it's holding that bear flag right here. Even though there was a false break, it's holding it. OCX. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to be kicking myself for this later. Oh, man. That's hurtful. That's hurtful. Oh, that's hurtful. If it breaks this low. Yep. And look at that seller wall. Look at that seller wall holding it down. Look at that. Now, I, of course, wouldn't jump in because I'd be chasing it, but look at that seller wall. Seller wall is basically a bunch of sellers that are holding it down. All the buyers have to basically buy up all these sells before it can move to 532. So it's going to be, you know, 531 until all these buyers buy up those sell orders. So with the seller wall, that's what I mean. There's getting a lot of pressure. And look at all these green orders coming through. About to break through that seller wall. Just broke through it. Now we have a buyer wall. So all those buy orders basically have to be eaten before it goes any lower than that. Looking back at JNPR. Oh. Yeah, well, it was, I will say it was a bear flag formation. It was starting to get squeezed right here. So it had to go either explode, like I was going to say it's going to explode up or it's going to explode down. And it exploded downwards, so. I didn't want to complete my sentence because then it would look like I was trying to be some type of mind reader. But yeah, so again, I'll do a last call for if anyone wants me to look at any stocks. You know, so I don't know how much longer I can last on camera, you know, with my nose just killing me. But I just want to show everybody, you know, this is really how I trade. You know, no one would have thought, I mean, some people do. I'm not going to lie. Some people do. But this huge, at the time, now granted this is more of a spike, this is actually would have been a beautiful short just because it closed up somewhat of that previous day's gap. But at the time, if I can move this over. Boop. At the time, What time did we get in? 30. Oh, I traded the first candle? Oh. I didn't even notice. Look at that. Trading the first candle again. Yeah, 9:30. Wow. You don't see that very often. All right, so let's see. I got in my trade 25.33. Boom, right there, right at the top, and then 25.01. The reason I got out of this trade is because at the time we're starting to get close to this VWAP moving average. I knew there was going to be some type of support there, and we got out of the trade right there. So, I mean, basically being done within a minute of market open. Now, of course, people are going to say, well, Jonathan, you only made $16. You can't live off that. What are you going to buy with that? Well, okay. Point. I can't say anything anymore. Point made. I just, no, there's not. No, so basically, yeah, I only took 50 shares because I wanted it to close this gap more. But again, I am trading the small account. So, yeah, very true, Chess. $16, $16. And when it comes to a small account, I mean, hey, I'll take $16. Now, funny thing, when I actually started the intro account, I mean, like a long time ago, I was more living life on the edge. So, like in the first week, I made $700 because I was taking a lot of share side. I was trading very similar to the way I did with Sure Trader. With Sure Trader, I've shown how much I've made. Like in the previous one I did Sure Trader, but I mean I was taking on the first candle 2,500 shares, and I was a momentum trader. So I was basically replicating how I trade with Sure Trader. This time around with the small account challenge, I'm not trying to be some crazy man. I'm basically teaching people this is how you should. This is the mentality you should have when you're trading. You know, are you looking for false breaks? Are you looking for the VWAP and the moving average crossing? Are you looking for overextensions off the VWAP? Are you looking for those bear flags? If you're looking for the bear flags, I mean, right here you would have just had a beautiful entry because you knew, let me look for that bear flag. Additionally, if you knew about false breaks, then when this broke here, you would have said, oh, okay, it only went down, you know, 8 cents. Maybe I should hold off for a little bit. But the bear flag did continue. So another thing to look out for, you know, and those are just the things you want to look out for when it comes to a small account. You don't want to go too crazy with it because what occurs and what could have happened to me on my second day with this small account is I lost $250. And that's a lot. That is a lot when it comes to a small account. I mean, I shouldn't have let it get to that, but it happened. It happened. So, I lost $250, and I could have said, okay, all right, I just need to up my share size. I need to up my share size so I can make back the money, and then it's fine. But if I thought that way, then I could have lost even more the next day. Now, that was the only red day I've had with this small account thus far. So, you know, I'm sure there'll be a red day, and it's always horrible anticipating for a red day because they're going to happen. But you don't want them to happen, and you know, so it's basically like a double-edged sword there. But yeah, making $16 in the first minute candle. You know, I don't know what to say. A lot of people, like I said before the market even opened, some people are in the market 15 minutes, 30 minutes, out 5 hours. That's just overkill. I'm sorry, it is, because there's different periods within the trading day where you're actually going to have these momentum spikes, and that's what you should be trading off of. Now, if you have a momentum spike, you know, I would say like around lunchtime, which I've traded before in one of my past videos, you know, you'll have a momentum spike, and there might not be a lot of volume that follows up with it. So it can continue to go up. And then additionally, why it's so, I wouldn't say easy. I don't want to say easy because it's going to sound like I'm just this amazing trader, which is not true. I'm not this amazing trader. I just have somewhat of an idea of what I'm doing. With the first minute candle, with the second minute candle, it's easier compared to other candles because I already know where the low is. I know where the high is. And I know the psychology behind why there's the sell orders and the buy orders.
with this 1 minute candle right here, I knew the high was 25.45. I mean, because I entered it when it started moving back down on this line right here. I knew where the high was. I knew where the low of the day was. You know, so, and then also, of course, the VWAP and the moving average. That's also very, very important. But I already knew where those were. So it's basically like, it's not like lunchtime where, you know, if I wanted to trade it around $10, but the high of day is 15 and the low of day is $5. I don't know. I don't know where it could, because there's not really a cap. Because of course throughout the day, the bulls wanted to break the high of day. The bears wanted to break the low of day, ultimately. Now, of course, when you're day trading, you know, I wasn't waiting for the break of the low because, I mean, it's the first minute candle. You got to be very careful. But ultimately, that's what the bulls and the bears are trying to do. So when I saw the bulls break, and multiple highs were broken in this 1 minute candle. So you also have to take in false breaks into account. When I saw that, when I saw these multiple breaks, then I saw the overextension, and there was a pullback, and I was patient with it, because even when I was in the middle of the trade for JNPR, I was still looking at OCX. I was looking at OCX while I was in the middle of the trade. So, oh, it looks like we got another push up here, but I was still looking at OCX because you just want to be very comfortable in your trade, you know. All right, I will take one more round of questions. If anyone has any questions, if you want me to look at any stocks. I want to do a live stream this weekend, but I'm trying to get another day trader on board. I know he's very busy, so I can't blame him for that, but I really want to get another trader on board. I think it'd really be cool just to have 2 day traders answering questions, you know, showing the difference between, everyone has a story. It could have been the story of, one day you heard about the stock market and you didn't know what it was, but you started trading it and somehow you became profitable. Or you could have the story of, it's run in the family. My family has been doing it for years and my father taught me everything I know, or however. Everyone has their own story. So I think it's cool just to basically compare stories, and then any questions that people had, then, you know, you would have 2 traders answering it. Everyone's going to have a different mentality, a different idea to a question. So I think it would just be cool. One last thing I want to say, OCX, I think there's going to be a little bit more downward momentum. Now we are starting to get the spitting everywhere. The crossing of the VWAP and the moving average. Watch out for that. The high of this candle is the ultimate stop. If it goes above this, oh, look at that. So look at this 30. The 30 is beautiful right here for a break. If this seller wall forms, right here, it would be beautiful for a break. Look at that. The seller wall's forming. Okay, we have a break, but oh, there we go. How far is this going to go down? See, like I must be like phoning with Miss Cleo right now, because for some reason anything I say occurs. Miss Cleo. But yeah, so I think there's going to be more downward momentum, like I just said. JNPR, I don't know. It's having a lot of. I mean, basically the VWAP's holding it up right now. Is the moving average going to hold it down? Maybe. You never know. But again, I'd watch out for this crossing right here. That's really the last thing. Oh, rookie trader, Chaz, my man. We'll definitely have to hook that up sometime. You know, I think it's really, dude, I love the video, your college video. That was awesome. That was awesome. You know, just because a lot of people, oh man, you gotta hold it together. A lot of people have the luxury of sitting behind their computer like I am right now and trading and blah, blah, blah. They can do whatever they want. They don't have to worry about being bothered by anybody or whatever. They can trade however they want. But with Chaz, I mean, he is a full-time college student. He doesn't have the luxury of sitting behind his computer, you know, throughout the entire market. He just doesn't have that luxury. And that really shows, I mean, that shows an intelligence on another level. I mean, it truly does, because, I mean, you have to be able to lock yourself in. You can't, like this morning, I was looking at, like, I mean, we started at like around 9 o'clock, so I could just sit here like, oh, let's look at this stock, let's look at this stock, which is, I mean, that's a luxury. But I mean, Chaz doesn't have that ability. I mean, he has to really, once he enters the market, he has to lock in. He has to look at, okay, boom, this is what I was looking at. This is what I was looking at yesterday. Just like we did with OCX. That's what I was looking at yesterday. And then he has to get into the market and do his trade. So, mad respect for Chaz. Always, of course. I mean, Chaz is the man. Definitely check out his channel, Rookie Trader. You know, that's just going to show a different side of trading. I mean, we have the Garage Day Trader. Of course, he has a full-time job. He'll never admit what it is. I'll never admit what it is. But, you know, he gets to sit down, and I'm happy for him. I'm truly happy for him that he gets to sit down. Now, of course, it takes a lot of his day because, I mean, he does help other traders. But he does have the luxury of sitting down and be able to focus on everything. And again, very happy for him. I'm very happy for him. I'm glad that his day job has that schedule set up for him. So, oh shit. Garage Day Trader. Oh man, I was just talking about you. Yeah, we're talking about. Yep, Chaz. Of course. You know, I definitely show a lot of respect to those real traders out there. Garage Day Trader, of course. I've been watching him since he had like 500 subscribers. So now he's almost to 4,000. Jeez, I've been watching him a long time. Yeah. Hey, I have to say, even though you do have a luxury of sitting down in front of the computer, you know, you do have a full schedule. I mean, it's just a lot. And even though I do my trading basically like, you know, I don't sit behind the computer, so I get a lot of my trading done out of hours. You know, I'm dedicating the time towards that. But with you, you have the full-time job, then you got to do the trading, then you got to put the videos together, and then of course you have the family life. That's just a lot. People don't understand. So I think it's hilarious when people in comments, they're saying, well, you didn't look at that stock right. You didn't, you know, blah, blah, blah. Your analysis is horrible. We're people too. The only thing on our mind isn't always just the stock market. Of course, we want to act like we're machines and this is how we trade like that, but we're not. We have emotions. We have other things on our mind. And some people forget that, and you know, they think that they're God traders by putting these comments. So whatever, not going to cover all of that, but mad respect to my real traders out there, not people using these demo accounts acting like they're making real profits because they're not, because that's just insulting that they're deceiving these young traders. It is insulting that people that are grinding it out, like me, Chaz, Justin, we're grinding it out. We have real emotion because this is real money, you know, and we're posting, yeah, 16 bucks, you know, but hey, you know, it's a good amount to the small account. But for people using these demo accounts, I think this is real. With a demo account, it's fake money. It doesn't matter. If I lost $1 million in my demo account, who cares? So that's just insulting to me. Yeah, comments. Yeah, Chaz, I know, man. Was too worried because it's so high price. BIIB. I didn't even have that on my radar. You know, the volume. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. The volume was very low up until market open. And the previous day, yeah, you wouldn't be able to look at the previous day's low. You would just have to go off of. Yeah, you'd have to go off the high. Yeah, I don't blame you on that one. But I'm sure you did well, Justin. You're the man. You know that. Yeah, I want to know what's in store for Justin, our Garage Day Trader, for the future. I mean, what's the big goals? We're hitting 4,000 subs. That's one right there. Chaz, you're going to hit 100 subs. That's another one. We got to do that. I was looking at 330 and now it's 325. Yeah, it's always hurtful. I mean, and that's the equivalent. I mean, that of course yours had more of a drop, but OCX. I was looking at this one market open. I even told everyone before the market opened, hey, I'm looking at this because of course it went over 200%. Oh my goodness! In the pre-market, or I'm sorry, 200% when it was open yesterday. I probably look horrible. You're gonna have to forgive me on that one. Yeah, almost to 500. $3K subs. Dude, you broke 3,900. You know, 4,000 is the next stop. You know, it's just funny because even though I look like death, a lot of people have this mentality of they only want to follow traders because they have these big numbers, but they don't look at the entire picture behind it. Oh, this guy made $1,000 again today. And then like 2 days later, he made another $1,000. And then a week later, he made $20,000. But you're not looking at, oh, what happened to those days in between? And also, when's the last time this person posted a red day? Now, I understand you want to have, okay, basically when you're a trader, especially a YouTuber, you're investing in yourself. With any type of investment, you never want to give it a bad outlook. I understand that. You don't want to do that. But you have to be transparent. You have to be real. I mean, when you're telling me that you're only having these green days, you're not having a red day for a month and a half, 2 months, you're basically telling young traders, hey, day trading, this is the easiest gig ever. I just made another $1,000. Boom, I'm never red, you know? And it's not like that. I mean, when I first started trading, my trading accuracy was like 30%. Maybe. But, I mean, now my accuracy is about 85, 90%, so I can't complain. But again, you can't be feeding a bunch of BS. And like I said, don't be a sheep in my last video. Don't listen to this overhype of people. I mean, it's just, I'm not saying because I'm green or however, strictly follow me. I'm not saying that. I do some horrible mistakes when I'm trading sometimes. Not saying that whatsoever. I'm just saying be cautious of who you're following as a trader. Because, I mean, if they're not being truthful in one aspect, then they're probably not being truthful in another. So, I'll stop. I'll get off my soapbox there. Justin, thank you so much for stopping in. Truly appreciate it. You're the man. Check out the Garage Day Trader. You know, basically, he's the one that really pushed me in the direction of starting on YouTube. You know, I showed him how I was doing, and then, you know, he asked me, do you have any social media outlets? And I said, no. So he really pushed me in the right direction. Truly appreciate it. OCX, like I said, is going to be more downward momentum. We're still getting that. All right, so one more round of last-minute questions. If you want to look at a stock, now granted, this is basically, I mean, all of this is really not what I focus on. I got in my trade. I got in at 9:30. First minute candle trading again. A lot of people say you should wait 15 minutes. You should wait 30 minutes before you enter a trade. So you can see how it's developing, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to knock that because, yeah, the more candles you have, of course, the more you're going to see is there, oh, this could be a cup and handle. I can see it now. Over here, I definitely couldn't have seen it. But, you know, you're missing out on a lot of volatility. You're missing out on a lot of movement. You know, with, let's see JNPR. So with JNPR, I got 32-cent movement. With a lot of these candles, you're not getting 32-cent movement in basically 1 minute. So I'm just saying this is where the volatility is right here. And of course, you got to be very confident when you're trading that. It's not easy. It's not easy. Trust me, it's not easy trading that. But that really goes on how much share size you're using. And mentally, you want to prepare yourself. Okay, I entered in 50 shares. I know what it's doing. If it goes up 10 cents, then, you know, I lost $5 or however. I can lose $5. Okay, yeah. But if you enter 1,000 shares and you're like, oh, crap. Oh, my stop loss, I'm going to lose $500. You probably want to rethink your share size. About to head to class. Let's check. They have a fantastic day. All right, Chaz. Thank you so much for dropping by. I truly appreciate it, man. Yeah, I definitely appreciate everybody tuning into this, to the live stream. I normally don't ever do these. But again, when I heard that day traders say, there's no benefit for me, why would I do it? There's added pressure, why would I do it? Blah, 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 blah. It kind of upset me. And I said, well, okay, I like the added pressure, and I feel like hell. So that's even, you know, I didn't think I was really going to take a trade today. I was going to do analysis for people, but when I saw that, I had to take the trade. So, hey, how's it going, Fia? Good to see you. I hope everything's gone well in your trading account. Let me know what trades you took or if you did any trades. You know, I definitely like to hear about it. And of course, anyone can email me. You can always email me. People have emailed me in the past. There's people that I'm teaching right now. Normally, I'm reviewing their trades. They'll tell me what trades they took. I'll review over them. There's no charge. I'm not charging people. I don't care about that. A lot of traders, a lot of financial people are making a lot of money by you know, doing whatever. But I just don't feel, it doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel right to me because I feel like I have a gift of, you know, being able to be green in the stock market. You know, I wouldn't say I'm this millionaire trader, but I do have the ability to be green. And I think being able to share that, especially people that are compassionate or that are passionate about this, you know, being able to share what knowledge you have. And you want them to not go down the same path you did. I mean, like I said, when I first started trading with Shirt Trader, I lost a lot of money in those first couple of days. So I don't want people to have the same thing. Oh, blew up my account. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I've blown up my account before. Not fun. Not fun. Definitely not. Yeah, if you want to message me later and you know, see if we want to try to get back in, or if you want to take a break, you know, either way is fine. But I'm sorry to hear that. I truly am. All right, I'm gonna call it there. We've been going for a little over an hour. Recap: made 16 bucks, 32-cent movement on the first minute candle in JNPR. Can't complain. Can't complain. Trading the first candle again. It's a good movement on 50 shares, making 32-cent movement. You know, it's not bad. It's not bad. If I had full share size, it would have been, you know, a good amount. But again, I wasn't trying to be too risky on the small account. And with 16 bucks, only putting $400 into this account, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So again, thank you all so much for joining, for tuning in. If you ever want to reach out to me, check out my email. Of course, I have a bunch of videos you can check out if you want to learn about specific whatever within the stock market. Also, I do cryptocurrency. I'm watching some right now. Definitely having a green day within the crypto world, so see how that goes. I've already made a video of where I'm thinking the crypto market's going to go as a whole. I think I have big hopes. But again, thank you all so much for tuning in. I truly do appreciate it. Let me go ahead. Actually, we'll do the sub counter real quick. Boom, 463. Oh my goodness, Mr. Kitty, we're almost there. We're almost there. And we'll go ahead and there we are. All right, so this is Jonathan, Mr. Kitty with Lone Wolf Day Trading, and stay green.